Welcome to English Lab Stories.
where English comes to life, one conversation at a time.
I've created the perfect morning routine for anyone who wants to improve their English.
The perfect routine? That's a dangerous promise.
Not at all. The learner wakes up at 5, studies grammar for an hour, memorizes 30 words, writes a journal entry, and practices pronunciation before breakfast.
Grace, are we teaching English or opening a training camp?
It looked much more realistic when I wrote it in different colors.
Be honest, would you follow that routine before going to work?
Would coffee be provided?
That is not an answer.
Fine. Perhaps the plan is slightly ambitious.
Slightly? Most people would abandon it before Wednesday.
Then let's create something a busy learner can actually stick to.
A simple 15-minute morning routine?
Exactly. Short, practical, and realistic.
Good. Let's build it together. Welcome to the English Lab podcast, where natural conversations help you move beyond basic English.
I'm Grace.
And I'm James. Today, we're creating a realistic 15-minute morning routine to help you improve your English.
A routine you can actually stick to.
Stick to a routine means to continue following it, even after the initial excitement disappears.
Because starting on Monday is easy. The real test is whether you are still doing it on Thursday.
Our routine has 5 simple stages. Listen, speak, describe your morning, learn one useful expression, and review it.
Each stage takes only 3 minutes. You don't need expensive materials, a perfect study space, or an extra hour in your day.
You only need 15 minutes and a willingness to use them intentionally.
We'll also teach you natural B1 to B2 vocabulary as we build the routine.
So, think about your mornings. How much time disappears while you check messages or scroll through your phone?
Perhaps the time you need to practice English is already there. You just need to use it differently.
Before we build the routine, we need to talk about a common mistake: trying to do too much too soon.
Many learners create an ambitious study plan. They decide to wake up extremely early, study grammar, memorize a long vocabulary list, watch a lesson, and practice speaking, all before breakfast.
The plan may look impressive, but is it realistic?
Realistic means practical and possible in your real life. A realistic plan considers your available time, your energy, and your responsibilities.
Studying for 2 hours every morning might sound wonderful, but it won't help if you abandon the plan after 3 days.
Exactly. A short routine you repeat regularly is usually more effective than an intense routine you rarely follow.
So don't ask yourself, how much English can I study tomorrow?
Ask, what can I continue doing next week, next month, and even on a busy Thursday?
And remember, this isn't about adding another complicated task to your morning.
It's about using a few minutes intentionally.
Intentionally means doing something with a clear purpose instead of doing it automatically or without thinking.
For example, you may already listen to something while you make breakfast or travel to work.
If you choose English audio and actively pay attention to it, you are using that time intentionally.
Quick question. Which plan sounds more realistic? Studying for 2 hours once a week or practicing for 15 minutes every morning?
If you chose 15 minutes every morning, you're ready for the first stage.
Let's begin by waking up your ears. Stage 1 is called Wake Up Your Ears. For the first 3 minutes, simply listen to English.
You can choose part of a podcast, a short video, a news story for learners, or even a scene from a series you enjoy.
But choose something short and appropriate for your level. Your morning is not the time to fight with a 30-minute lecture about quantum physics.
Unless quantum physics helps you wake up.
In that case, I have several questions.
Start by listening without stopping. Don't worry about understanding every word. Focus on the general message.
Ask yourself, who is speaking? What are they talking about? How do they feel?
During the second listen, pay attention to a few familiar words and expressions. You may understand more than you noticed the first time.
If one sentence seems especially useful, replay it once. But don't pause after every word or immediately search for everything in a dictionary.
The goal is to wake up your ears, not exhaust your brain before breakfast.
Listening to English at the beginning of the day can also set the tone for your practice.
Set the tone means to establish the mood or direction for what happens next.
For example, beginning your morning with a few focused minutes can set the tone for a more intentional day.
Here's your 3-minute plan. Listen once for the general meaning, listen again for familiar language, and replay one useful sentence.
That's all. You don't need to understand 100%.
You are training your brain to recognize the rhythm, sounds, and patterns of English.
Your ears are awake. Now it's time to wake up your voice.
Stage 2 is wake up your voice. You've listened to English. Now it's time to speak.
Choose one short sentence from the audio you just heard. Listen to it again, pause, and repeat it aloud.
Not silently in your head. Your voice needs to participate.
Even if you are alone, and especially if your dog is your only audience.
Dogs are excellent listeners. Their pronunciation feedback is less reliable.
First, focus on the sounds. Then, repeat the sentence again and try to copy the speaker's rhythm and stress.
This technique is called shadowing. You listen to a short piece of English and repeat it as closely as possible.
You don't need to imitate every detail perfectly. The goal is to help your mouth become more comfortable producing English sounds.
Let's try a simple example. I usually start my day with a cup of coffee.
Repeat it once slowly. I usually start my day with a cup of coffee.
Now say it again with a natural rhythm. I usually start my day with a cup of coffee.
Finally, personalize the sentence. Replace a cup of coffee with something from your own life.
For example, I usually start my day with a short walk.
Or, I usually start my day by checking my messages.
That one may be honest, but we're trying to improve the morning.
Fair point. Repeat your chosen sentence a few times. Then, create one personal version.
Little by little, speaking aloud will feel less uncomfortable and more natural.
3 minutes are enough. Listen, repeat, copy the rhythm, and personalize the sentence.
Your ears are awake, and now your voice is awake too.
Next, we'll use English while doing ordinary things around the house. Stage 3 is narrate your morning. For the next 3 minutes, describe what you are doing in English.
Most of us complete our morning tasks on autopilot.
On autopilot means doing something automatically, without giving it much conscious thought.
You probably don't carefully analyze every step while making coffee, brushing your teeth, or getting dressed.
But these automatic moments are perfect opportunities to think in English.
As you move through your morning, describe your actions aloud or silently in your mind.
You can begin with simple sentences. I'm making breakfast. I'm pouring some coffee. I need to leave in 10 minutes.
Or, in my case, I'm looking for my glasses.
Aren't you wearing them?
Exactly. It's a very advanced morning.
You can also describe what you see. The kitchen is quiet. The coffee smells good. My keys are on the table.
Then add a thought or a plan. I have a busy day ahead, or I'm going to finish work early today.
Don't stop every time you forget a word. Use language you already know or describe the idea in another way.
For example, if you forget the word kettle, you can say, the thing I use to heat water.
That is an important communication skill. Real conversations don't come with a pause button and a dictionary.
Here's a quick challenge. Look around you and name 3 things you can see.
Now describe one thing you are doing and one thing you plan to do later.
That's 5 short sentences and a real moment of English practice.
Instead of moving through your entire morning on autopilot, use 3 minutes to notice your surroundings and think in English.
You've listened, spoken, and described your morning.
Next, we'll add one useful expression to your English.
Stage 4 is learn one useful expression.
Notice that we said one expression, not 20 random words copied from a vocabulary list.
Learning a long list may feel productive, but how many of those words will you remember next week?
Instead, choose one useful expression from the audio you listened to earlier.
Write it down, understand its meaning, and create a sentence connected to your own life.
Let's practice with the expression make the most of.
To make the most of something means to use a situation, opportunity, or period of time in the best possible way.
For example, I want to make the most of my free time.
Or, she made the most of her trip by visiting several small towns.
In today's routine, you are making the most of a few quiet minutes in the morning.
Notice the structure. Make the most of, followed by a noun or pronoun.
Make the most of your morning. Make the most of this opportunity. Make the most of it.
Now create a sentence about your own life. What would you like to make the most of?
Your weekends? Your commute? Your English classes? The last peaceful minute before everyone else wakes up?
That final one sounds very specific.
It comes from experience.
Say your sentence aloud twice. Then, imagine one situation in which you could use it during a real conversation.
That personal connection makes the expression easier to remember and more useful.
Your 3-minute plan is simple. Choose one expression, understand it, write one personal example, and say it aloud.
One expression used confidently is more valuable than a long list you never use.
Now we have one final stage.
It's time to review what you learned and use it again. Stage 5 is review and reuse. These final 3 minutes help move today's English from a short activity into your memory.
But reviewing doesn't mean reading all your notes again while thinking about breakfast.
Close your notes first and try to remember what you practiced.
Begin with the audio. Can you explain its main idea in 1 or 2 simple sentences?
Then, repeat the sentence you used for shadowing. Try to remember it before you play the audio again.
Finally, return to your expression of the day. What does it mean, and what personal example did you create?
Today's expression was make the most of.
So, without looking, complete this sentence. I want to make the most of...
Add something true about your life and say the complete sentence aloud.
If you forget part of it, check your notes and try again. Forgetting something doesn't mean you failed. It shows you what needs more practice.
You can also review yesterday's expression for a few seconds. This helps you become more consistent.
Consistent means doing something regularly over time, not only when you feel excited or motivated.
You don't need a perfect performance every morning. You need a routine you can return to again and again.
This is why we say small steps add up.
It means that small actions may not seem powerful individually, but together they can produce an important result over time.
3 minutes of listening may seem small. So may one sentence or one new expression.
But when you repeat these actions consistently, those small steps add up.
And that completes the 15-minute routine. Listen, speak, narrate, learn, and review.
5 simple stages, 3 minutes each.
Now, let's see what the complete routine looks like in a real morning.
Now, let's review the vocabulary and expressions we learned today.
First, stick to a routine. This means to continue following a routine over time.
For example, a simple plan is easier to stick to.
Next, realistic. Something realistic is practical and possible in your real life.
Practicing for 15 minutes every morning is a realistic goal.
Intentional means done with a clear purpose.
She is intentional about using her free time to practice English.
We also learned set the tone. This means to establish the mood or direction for what happens next.
A calm morning can set the tone for a productive day.
On autopilot means doing something automatically without giving it much conscious thought.
I usually make breakfast on autopilot.
Next, make the most of. This means to use a situation, opportunity, or period of time in the best possible way.
I listen to English on my commute to make the most of my time.
Consistent means doing something regularly over time.
You don't need to study for hours, but you do need to be consistent.
Finally, Small steps add up. This means that small actions can produce an important result when they are repeated over time.
10 minutes may not seem like much, but small steps add up.
Let's hear them once more. Stick to a routine. Realistic. Intentional. Set the tone. On autopilot. Make the most of. Consistent. And small steps add up.
These expressions aren't only useful for talking about learning English. You can also use them when discussing work, habits, goals, and everyday life.
Choose one expression and write your own sentence with it in the comments.
Using the vocabulary personally will help you remember it.
Before we go, let's review your 15-minute morning English practice.
Spend 3 minutes listening, 3 minutes speaking, and 3 minutes narrating your morning in English.
Then use 3 minutes to learn one useful expression and 3 more to review and reuse what you learned.
Remember, you don't need to wake up at 5, memorize 30 words, or turn your kitchen into an English training camp.
You simply need a realistic routine that fits into your life.
Tomorrow morning, try all 5 stages, or begin with just one if 15 minutes feels like too much.
The important thing is to start, stay consistent, and allow those small steps to add up.
In the comments, tell us which stage you plan to try first: listening, speaking, narrating, learning an expression, or reviewing.
And write your answer in English. That can be your first small step.
If this podcast helped you, subscribe to English Lab Stories for more natural English conversations, practical vocabulary, and listening practice.
Make the most of your morning, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.